Hey there, how's it going? I'm Scott, the home loan guy. I'm a local mortgage broker to the California market. I've been doing loans for about 20 years, and I'm here answering questions about the lending side of real estate. One of the questions I got today that was just a general question says, how does a refinance work? I've got a lot of clients that are purchasing houses right now, and they're looking to the future. They're thinking about the opportunity to get into a lower mortgage interest rate once rates drop down, and they want to know, how does the refinance process work? And this is a great question. So when it's a refinance, the idea is you're going to requalify as, can you afford the payment for a new mortgage based off of your situation now? When you bought your house, you had to qualify for the home. They had to show the income, you showed the assets. You could have made your payments every year for as long as you've owned that home, but the bank doesn't care. They're going to say, can you afford it now going forward? So they're going to requalify you on a refinance. We take a look at your income, take a look at your credit history, take a look at your assets, do an appraisal on the property, which is the collateral for the loan. They want to make sure the house is worth what you're wanting to refinance for. And then that allows you to then, using the equity position of the home, get a new interest rate, pull out some cash of the home. But then you've got some opportunities on how you want to refinance. With a refinance, you've got the ability to do a few things. You can lower the term, go from a 30-year to a 15-year loan. You can keep the same term you're in. Maybe you've had the house for 5 years and you got a 30-year loan. Get a 25-year loan. Don't go back to a 30. Or some people, maybe they've been in it for a few years and they go back to a 30 to keep their payment as low as possible. So lowering your interest rate and also extending out your term can give you a lower monthly payment. So it really comes down to what your goals with that refinance. Can do a few different things to really put it in a position to either pay off the house faster, save money every month by paying less each month, maybe increasing the payment so you're paying a little bit more but still paying it on track. There's a lot of different options you can do with a refinance. With the refinance, based off your equity position, you have the ability to roll your cost into the loan, so you're not coming out of pocket with anything on a refinance. Compared to a purchase, you had to come in with your closing costs. You had no option on that. You don't own the house. There's no equity there that you're able to dip into. On a refinance, you can actually use the equity of your home as a little bank that you can use to cover the cost of the refinance. The refinance cost can vary depending on what rate you choose, what lender you're working with, and how you set up your entire transaction, whether or not you have an escrow account with your taxes and insurance, whether or not you're paying off any debt. Different things all can be rolled into the refinance itself and just paid through the closing. So there's different ways you can set up a refinance, but the general idea is you have the opportunity to double check your numbers, see if a refinance can put you in a better financial position or just help you obtain your goals. And if the numbers make sense, you can then complete the refinance. As a lender, one of the things we have to look for is, what is the benefit? I can't just refinance somebody for fun of it. I can't just give you a loan because it's saved you $20 a month if it's going to cost you $2,000 to do that. It doesn't make sense. We won't do that. So there's a real strict rules we have on the lending side as brokers that we have to make sure there is a benefit for the refinance. So you're either getting out of an adjustable rate mortgage into a fixed rate mortgage. You're either going from a 30 to a 15 by lowering the term. Maybe you're just lowering your interest rate. You're paying off debt. There's different reasons we can look and justify why we're going to do a refinance, but there has to be some kind of benefit to the buyers, the owners of the home. So there's lots of different things can happen with the refinance. You also, if you have your property currently set up in your own personal name, at the refinance, we can move it into the name of a trust. If you've had a trust established and you haven't had the properties put up into the trust, you can do that then. You can add people to the mortgage. Maybe you've been married since you originally bought the home. Now we can add the spouse to the home loan. Then also, with that being said, maybe you've been divorced. And maybe through the refinance, we're now going to remove somebody off of the mortgage and the title to separate those assets through a court orders, things like that. So there's lots of things that can be done to refinance. The way I like to think about it, a refinance is a tool, as an opportunity to improve your situation. It's definitely a great thing to do, but it's a numbers game. You have to make sure it makes financial benefit for you. So one of the things I like to do is I like to really crunch those numbers using just simple math. It really does come down to just basic information, just knowing what your goal is, what you'd like to see if you can achieve. And I always say, come to me with your hopes and dreams. If the goal is to save a little bit of money every month on your mortgage payment, I'll give you some options for that. If your goal is to save a lot of interest by paying out the house faster and not paying as much total interest over the life of the loan and getting the house paid off in 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, I can give you the numbers on that. So refinance really is just a great way to figure out what works best for you for your long-term goals. If you have any other questions about refinancing or just looking into how a refinance works, feel free to reach out to me. My name's Scott, the Home Loan Guy. I'm a mortgage broker. Happy to help where I can. Thanks.